Good morning. I said yesterday I had these two related hypotheses, and so today I'm going to find out whether I can explain what I actually plan to do to validate or invalidate or anyway gather data on those two hypotheses. So they were the related ideas that if I explore the crypto space, Web3, and come to understand it and get good at explaining it, which I see as something that's largely missing from the space, then I should be able to produce something that's of value to people who are new to it, like honestly like myself right now, and especially like myself, I don't know, a month ago when I set out to try to learn about it. I should be able to put something together that people in that position find useful, that's of some value to them. And then on the other side, I should be able to provide services that are valuable to the Web3 startup founders or any established company working in the space or communities or foundations or anyone who's basically got a website trying to get people to sign up, participate, opt in, whatever. So that's two directions. I'm going to talk about what I'm going to do to investigate each of those, I guess in reverse order. Because the first one, I don't have too much of a plan, but the second one, I got some thoughts. So again, success looks like, yes, I've managed to find somebody who is, let's say, Web3 startup founder who has decided, yeah, you know what, I want to pay you to help us with our website or our acquisition strategy or just our messaging in general or our onboarding experience, any of those things really. If I find someone who says yes to that, then I've validated the hypothesis. Yeah, okay, that is something I can get paid to help with. If I ask a certain number of people about that and nobody's interested, then I will conclude that it's not so much a thing, that it's not a great opportunity. So to figure that out, one way or the other, I need to be in a position to pitch that or to offer that to people who are qualified to say yes or no. But I'm not just going to go pitch people because that just sucks. The world doesn't need more of that. So I'm going to approach it from kind of a customer development research perspective, where I'm just going to start as close to my inner network as possible, talking to people who are in a role that's suitable, again, like a founder, or I guess if there's a marketing department of any of these organizations, then someone who's got budgetary discretion in that department. I haven't seen too much of that though. Or if not that, then people who know people who fit that role, and just having conversations and just trying to understand from their perspective how they think about the problem that I intend or purport to be able to solve, which is, again, your website's obscure. It's unclear. Your onboarding relies a lot on people already knowing the space. You're not friendly to newcomers or to non-technical people. And just kind of get them to talk about it, basically, and I'll listen, and from that I'll formulate a clearer picture of, is this a priority? Do they care? Have they already tried to solve it? What have they tried? Did they spend money trying to solve it, or is it just kind of one of these, yeah, one day we'll get there? I don't know that yet, but I can learn all that just from talking to people. I don't have to have a sales funnel and send spam emails or buy ads or anything like that. I'm just going to talk to people. So in the short term, that's the plan. And the very next step toward that is, I guess I'm gonna just build a little list. And the way I imagine it is each row is one of these projects or coins or companies or foundations, organizations. And then in the columns, I'll put just a few notes. And I think it's probably good to capture my level of interest and maybe my assessment of each project, because a bunch of them are just going to be junk, I assume. That's my current mental model of the space, is that it's a lot of scams, and it's a lot of ill-founded, ill-conceived projects that are doomed to fail. A lot. So here, I drew a picture, actually. We can go multimedia today. Yeah, if you can see that. You can't really see that. Yeah, that's okay. That's legible-ish. So these are different mental models of the predominance of scams in crypto, right? So the first is the classic Venn diagram, where it's some crypto is in the scam territory, but there's plenty of that's not. And then the other one is crypto is completely contained within the circle of scams. It's all a scam, right? And I do think there's plenty of people that believe that. I think that's a pretty strong claim that I'm not endorsing. But then I drew a third model, and this is a really terrible drawing. But basically, it's another Venn diagram where most of the crypto circle is within the scam circle. And so I've got to look for that little tiny sliver on the outside that's not a scam, So I'll start making a list, and I'll start just putting my impression of, do I think this is real and needs to exist, and why? And then I'll put a note about like, who should I talk to here? Whether it's the founder or someone senior, whatever I can find about that person, and then like where I can find them too. And so I'll start that list, and that'll give some shape to like, what can I actually be doing to make these conversations happen? Like, do I know somebody that can introduce me to them? Am I able to join a Discord that they're active in? Are they on Twitter? Can I find them there? And I'm going to try to make some conversations happen. And again, if there's like a strong demand, it'll all come together pretty quick. Like the moment I bring it out, they'll be like, oh my God, yes, yeah, can you help? And there we go. If they're hard to reach, if the topic's not interesting, if it's not a priority, well, I'll figure that out too, kind of indirectly. So that's what that looks like. Step 1, build a list. Step 2, decide kind of who's easiest to reach, easiest to talk to in my list. You don't need to make it hard. I'm just trying to learn. So on the other side, as far as creating something that's valuable to people who are kind of like on the same journey, but behind me a little bit, I really no idea what that looks like. I guess technically these videos, and I've got a Twitter thread about this research, like those are a start of kind of just organizing my thoughts, which is a necessary first step. But beyond that, I have no real clue what it could look like, right? Like, is it a book? Is it a course? Is it a video? I have no idea. Maybe it's none of these things. The one part of it is I'm still trying to find other people who are solving the same problem. And it's been hard. Like, I find people who are all in, crypto maximalists, then I find people who are no coiners and they think it's all trash. And like the in-between is a sparsely populated field as far as I can tell. But I'm still searching. And so that's a much less formal process of just trying to like consume and search and be open to whatever's out there, and hoping that in time, as I learn more and as I get practice explaining these things, and hopefully am able to have conversations with people where I can get some feedback, like, am I making sense? I'll also gain a picture of like, what's the landscape, what's already out there, what are people finding useful, and what's missing. And I'll try to go there. So that's really vague, right? Like the only next step there for me is to keep learning, keep listening to podcasts, keep checking out people on YouTube, keep following people on Twitter, see what they're saying, and keep trying to explain myself, which I'll continue to do. See you tomorrow.